And as we're looking at it now, I mean, the Thunder really ran away with that. And now going into this next year where the East has kind of really fallen off, not really to their own fault, but just, or lack of talent, just, the obstruction of talent with those Achilles injuries, unfortunately, where, I mean, you start to look at it, and I feel like the door's really open for the West to repeat. And, I mean, out of that West, I mean, I feel like it's possible the Thunder repeat. Do you think that the Thunder run it back next year, and do you think that this kicks off a dynasty for them?
I don't think so. I think, well, you said you think the Thunder might be able to. And
right.
Here's why you think that is. Because, the Thunder have a lot of young players.
Right.
And, they say, the younger, they have more energy, they have more this and that. But I feel like the Thunder might not have a chance next season. Because I think not a chance. Because most of the other teams have older players, because that means they have more time to rethink about, what to do in the situation.
Okay.
So I feel like,
I felt like they rethinked pretty well when they won the title.
Well, well, I still think that...
And they already had those playoff missteps, and they learned from their mistakes, like when they lost the series with the Magic. Or not the Magic, the Mavericks.
The Mavericks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, they have that playoff experience now. Like, they've lost there, and now they've won there.
Yeah.
And when we look at it, I mean, they brought so many people back. Like, the J-Dub twins, they got Shea back, they got Chet back. Those are the four, big, you got to get those guys if you want to repeat it, and they did. And when we're looking at it, I know we can say how ridiculous the West is to sort of say that the Thunder can't make it, but at the end of the day, I think whoever gets out of the West will win it all. And, it's been, I mean, when you look at it, it's been years since the Nuggets got out of there. It feels like someone always nicks them. And then when you look at it, the Thunder made it out, and whoever gets out of the East, I feel like, is going to lose. And, I mean, the Thunder are the most proven. They just did it. They know how to do it. They've lost there, and I think they learned from those mistakes this year. And when you're looking at the West as a whole, because the West was pretty stacked this year, and they still ran away with it just fine. And they still swept the Grizzlies, and I think it was great playoff experience for them to narrowly beat the Nuggets, because then they get those tight game experiences and tight series where you really see the stress, and that you can see how much they improved after they had that dogfight with the Mavericks where they kind of just caved, because the Mavericks have been there before. The Mavericks have been in the playoffs tons of times before that time, especially in the Luka era, where the Thunder just didn't have that experience. As we talk about, they're a young team, but I mean, they're getting a lot of experience. They've been in the playoffs. They've lost in the playoffs. They just made a great run, and they beat a lot of top teams to do it. I mean, even the Timberwolves were so hot, and they gentlemen sweeped them. So, I mean, I have a lot of faith in the Thunder, and I don't think you can say, even if you don't think the Thunder will repeat, I don't think you can say you can be as confident in a team to win it all this year than you can say with the Thunder.
I mean, I think,
right?
The Timberwolves, they have Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert, DiVincenzo. They're not bad players. Anthony Edwards is a really good player.
Right.
But I think the Timberwolves might have a chance in the finals next season.
Okay.
And I think, based on your opinion, I think I can see the Timberwolves and the Thunder in the finals next season.
Conference finals.
Well, conference finals, yeah.
Right.
In the conference finals, yeah.
And I feel like in this year, that's kind of going to end up being the NBA finals, sort of.
It might be, yeah.
I think whoever wins that game will win it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Timberwolves, not bad of a team. I think, with...
Yeah.
They have Rudy Gobert and, Anthony Edwards, not bad of a duo on the team, if I do say so myself.
I think the problem is...
It's kind of like... It's kind of like with the Thunder with Chet Holmgren and, I guess, Shea. That's a good duo for the Thunder, in my opinion, I guess. But,
right.
And, not only the Timberwolves, but you got, the Nuggets, Jamal Murray and Jokic. Not bad of a duo either.
Right.
Yeah. Not too bad for the Nuggets or the Timberwolves, in my opinion.
I agree. And the way the Nuggets have been rebuilding about Jokic, which we'll get to later, I mean, the Nuggets could be scary, and the Timberwolves. I do like the Timberwolves, but the issue is that we haven't seen them really cap it off and really give us something that really makes us think, yeah, they're going to win, or yeah, they're going to have a great chance. Because we've seen in back-to-back years they've made it to the conference championship after having a great playoff. I mean, not this past year, but the year before that, they knocked out the Nuggets in the semifinals, who were the reigning champions at that point. I did not think they were coming out of that one, and then they just ended up really messing, I wanted to say something else, but just really falling apart against the Mavs. And then, that's where that experience comes in. So I was thinking this year maybe they could take advantage of the Thunder not having that experience, even though they did also lose to the Mavs, but not in that conference championship setting. So I was really thinking the Timberwolves, even though they weren't as the better team or weren't as good or maybe didn't have much talent, but I thought they would come in and be like, we've been here before, we were just here, and build on those mistakes, and they just didn't, and it was even worse than when they were before. And that's why it's hard to build so much confidence, because I love Anthony Edwards. Like, that team's great. And, they certainly are really great. I mean, they weren't even one of the top seeds, but they upset the Lakers. And then they, even though Curry's Warriors were not higher than them in terms of ranking, I mean, it's never great to see the Warriors in the playoffs, especially as long as Curry's there. I feel like they could always be a threat, But, I do like the Timberwolves, right? I would say I like the Nuggets more because we've seen them do it. We've seen them be clutch in those situations. And, we saw, they were in the finals against a great Lakers team, and they sweeped them, that Nuggets team. And, there was a lot of, maybe luck that went into that, but, that team's just ridiculous.
And when Jamal Murray hit that game winner over Anthony Davis, that was insane.
Ridiculous.
It was fourth quarter, a couple seconds left.
You remember this.
Jamal Murray against Anthony Davis. Mm-hmm. Anthony Davis was right there, and after Jamal Murray hit that game-winning shot over Anthony Davis, the Nuggets team and the crowd, they were all hyped up, and then Anthony Davis was a part of that, crowd, I guess, because,
right.
But, and not only that, I think the Nuggets and the Mavericks might have a chance. They have good players, in my opinion. Nuggets got, Jamal Murray, Russell Westbrook, and Nikola Jokic. So I think the Nuggets and Mavericks might have a chance.
Yeah, I agree. And, whoever comes out of the East is certainly going to have a chance. But, when you look at the West right now, not only are we saying, we think the Thunder are going to be great, and even if they don't repeat, everyone that they brought back and the fact that they've done it before. And then the Nuggets, the way they're building around Jokic, they've been there. Another MVP on their team. And they're certainly I feel like it's primed to have another Nuggets season like that because, the fact they lost in the playoffs a couple years ago against the Timberwolves was pretty surprising. And then last year's one, they were really in some dogfights because, they went with the Clippers to 7 and then went with the Thunder to 7. They were just getting gassed, I feel like maybe if they end up getting a better seed, maybe they'll have a better draw and won't have as bad of as just as much drain. Where I felt like that's what really, really benefited from, if you remember that Nuggets year you were talking about, where the Thunder swept them, right? And then the Bucks and the Celtics, I believe, were on the other side. And, the Bucks ended up going to 7, where the Nuggets were on vacation for 12 days, where they really didn't have that this year, where they were just constantly playing games. And I think eventually that wears on you, and that's kind of what helped them because the Thunder ended up sweeping and getting out of that situation pretty quickly, and they felt like they were more prime, and they had the first 2 at home. So if the Thunder can do better in the regular season to get a better draw, or the Nuggets, I feel like the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, and the Thunder are certainly up there. But then you even look at the Clippers, who, even though a lot of their guys are aging and maybe you say they're out of their prime, Kawhi, Chris Paul, James Harden, Bradley Beal, that's still an all-star lineup where if those guys are healthy in the playoffs, who knows? And then, you can even go, say, the Lakers are still there.
That's a key factor, with LeBron James, he's been in the league forever.
I know.
And, that's the main thing. He needs to, not only focus on his health,
Right.
He's not only him, but Chris Paul as well.
Right.
They got to keep an eye on their health. And, they're, pretty old in the NBA. And, hopefully, they're careful enough. And LeBron, he's a pretty good player. I just think that's his main. I think that's what he should focus on more is his health
right.
Because he's not old, but I think if he at his age, 40, that's pretty old age in the NBA to
right.
But
really big for them to lock in Luka.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
He needs it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Luka would, because LeBron could use Luka.
Right.
Because, it's crazy. And, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And, I mean, for all the reasons that I've kind of mentioned this earlier, I feel like in this wild, wild west that's kind of been set up with how the East has kind of been plagued by injuries, I feel like I'm most confident I'm going to go with the Thunder to come out of that West. And, I mean, whoever comes out of the West, I think will win it all. So, I mean, I guess that's my title champion. Who do you think's coming out of the Wild Wild West for you? Are you saying the Nuggets or Timberwolves?
Well, it's pretty hard to say. Nuggets and Timberwolves. I mean, I don't know. This is a hard decision.
Sounds like you're not picking the Thunder, so
definitely not the Thunder.
All right.
But if I got to go the Nuggets here. I think the Nuggets might have a chance. The Timberwolves might also have a chance, but I think my decision has to be the Nuggets. I mean,
yeah.
I just think the Nuggets have a better chance than the Timberwolves do, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. And with the way they built around Jokic, if he can finally get some help, then maybe he won't have to do so much. And hopefully they'll get a better seed, and so overall a better draw, because, I mean, going to 7 games back-to-back definitely weighs on you, and that's probably why they ended up getting eliminated. But, I mean, it's hard to make excuses like that, but it's like, well, I mean, the Thunder did really well, best record in the league, and got, a sweep in their draw. So, I mean, if they have something like that and don't go into that first matchup just already exhausted and already, being so, just battle damaged, where I feel like that could really turn out for the Nuggets. And, I mean, I still like the Thunder, but, I mean, it's hard to put anyone above them with how they, schooled the league in there. I mean, because we're talking about the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. They got around both of them. And I know you can make excuses for the Nuggets, but, the Thunder went to 7 with them. Crazy series. I mean, they were in the depths, just in the trenches in that series, and then went and gentlemen sweep the Timberwolves. So you can even show that they're kind of resilient as well. So, I mean, that's just my take on it, but I still really like the Thunder, and I think it's really so huge that they brought, pretty much everyone.